Good evening and thank you for joining us. Tuesday marked a historic day for the justice community in Kenora as the Honorable Justice Evelyn Joan Baxter, an Indigenous woman from Martin Falls, was sworn into the Ontario Court of Justice. A packed courthouse of family, colleagues, and dignitaries greeted Baxter for the ceremony, which at times was emotional as her friends retold her journey to this historic day. Beautiful night tonight, but there is a lot of rain on the forecast for the week, so if you want to get outside, tonight is probably the night to do it. We'll have your full local details coming up next, but first let's take a look across the country. In Vancouver right now, 24, the sun is still out, a little bit of clouds in the sky. Prince George, a little bit more cloud coverage. Now as we move to Calgary and Saskatoon, the sun has disappeared. Temperatures are still pretty seasonal, 24 and 28. Moving to Regina, 29, pretty warm there, no cloud coverage at all. Winnipeg, clouds in the sky at 28. Now Churchill drops down to 17, and in Toronto, 25. They were in a severe thunderstorm watch earlier today. Obviously, that's ended, and it looks like they will be in for a nice evening. Many are calling it the best and biggest blues festival yet, with another sellout crowd, perfect weather, and a musical lineup that's hard to beat. The big question now is, how can next year's festival get any better? Tyler Kelleher reports. A large investment by the federal government was announced in Thunder Bay that will make it possible for 500 more youth to get jobs next summer. Project Learning Tree Canada is the lucky recipient of $4.4 million, which will help youth all across Canada, including those in this region. Project Learning Tree Canada and its Green Jobs Growing Skills project helps invest and support Canadian youth in the forest and conservation sectors. In just 2 years, PLT Canada has employed 2,000 youth in the summer months, but now with funding from the federal government, another 500 youth will get a chance to experience green jobs, and the program is secure at least until next fall.
What this does is this enables us next summer right through October to provide these same opportunities with over 100 different employers across the country so that they can have work experiences that are up to 16 weeks.
The $4.4 million announced by Employment Minister Patty Hajdu is funded through the Youth Employment and Skills Strategy Program, which was launched at the beginning of this month. Hajdu says the money is to make sure that young people have every chance to succeed.
I mean, what we're saying is these programs need the flexibility to be able to understand what that barrier is for that particular kid, and then help that young person move past that barrier so that they can experience that stability in the workforce, which ultimately will lead to a higher degree of self-sufficiency for that young person.
The PLT project will include mentorship, career planning, and networking for youth all across the country, including those who are facing barriers. Hajdu says there are two main reasons to support the project.
It combines two things that are of critical importance. One is that idea of fairness, that everybody has a fair chance to succeed, but two, that we need to actually be taking environmental protection more seriously as a country.
On top of a big funding announcement, Green Jobs manager Zach Wagman and his brother Nick have been biking across Canada to meet youth who are a part of the program.
Everyone's been super excited. The passion that they bring to their job is unbelievable. A lot of these youth are saying that these are the best jobs they've ever had. They're waking up excited to go to work every morning. They're learning so much on the job.
Despite a previous commitment to host at least 400 Pikangikum First Nation residents, city officials have announced that Thunder Bay won't be accepting any more evacuees. On Wednesday, over 200 people arrived on planes through provincially coordinated efforts, with 100 more expected Friday and 100 more expected next Wednesday. But following Saskatchewan's decision to accept 2,000 people, Thunder Bay has closed its doors.
We are beyond the level that we can provide for safety, security, and happiness for people that are here under duress.
The forest fire that threatens Pikangikum is now 50,000 hectares in size and burning just 6 kilometers southwest of the community. Although just over 200 people arrived officially this week through the city, Gale says there are actually closer to 1,000 evacuees within city limits. The Independent First Nation Alliance says over 700 people traveled to Thunder Bay after self-evacuating earlier this week.
Self-evacuees could be a range of young youth, families, kids. It's a broad range in demographics there. At the end of the day, we're not allowed to permit and refuse anyone. That's my job to make it work no matter what the cost.
Originally, the Emergency Operations Control Group said they were only responsible for the evacuees they agreed on through the province. But now they are working alongside IFNA to help support all 1,000 evacuees. But even with closing the door to more people, the city is still facing a few problems.
We're not concerned about the financing part of this. Our costs will be reimbursed. What we're concerned about is the ability of our emergency services personnel at the 3 main levels to be able to provide the level of support that those people need and to be able to meet our core mandate to the people of the City of Thunder Bay.
We've obviously noticed already in the last 24 hours some greater demands both on EMS and police resources in terms of calls for service, calls for assistance.
Right now, the evacuees are being housed at the Victoria Inn and Valhalla, while self-evacuees are staying at the Air Lane Hotels and Valhalla. Fire Chief John Hayes says things are in the early stages, but are going well.
Right now, the hotels are doing well with the food. They're doing well with the accommodations.
As of Thursday morning, approximately 2,000 people out of a community of 4,300 were still in Pikangikum waiting to be evacuated. Alana Pickrell, TBT News.